I am so excited to chat with you, Abigail, because we're in another season of Blue Bloods, and it's bittersweet, and I'm excited though that we get to chat about this wonderful series again. Season 14, we're in the middle of it right
Yeah,
now,
I know.
and we're in a little bit of a break. Where do we pick up coming here with the Reagan family and New York Police Department?
So I think what I can tell you is, you're going to keep seeing obviously the amazing family dinners, and there will be a lot of like adventure and familiar faces that may come back, which will be super fun. There are also some new guest stars that we have that are really exciting. And I think one of them, which I think it's already known that she's going to be appearing, is Amanda Klutz, who is Nick Cordero's wife. And Nick Cordero passed away during COVID. And Amanda has stayed close with Tom during that time, and they just have such a nice relationship. And Nick was so well loved and respected on our set. So we have Amanda coming in and doing a wonderful role. And I think people are going to lose their minds over how exciting it is. I don't want to tease any more than that, but um, the same like drama that we always have. There's just so much going on in the city of New York, which is also a character in our show. And I'm excited for the second half of season two. There will also be some reveals and big life changes that I think will be both well received and break a lot of people's hearts. It's a very well written season. I feel like our writers and producers really took their time and did this right. And I wept when I read the series finale. I wept and I texted them. I texted Siobhan, Byrne O'Connor, and Kevin Wade afterwards and just said, "Well done," because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Well, I thought this season was very touching. You all paid such a beautiful tribute to Treat Williams and his passing. What did it mean to you that you guys got to honor him and his legacy?
I mean, getting to work with him the couple times that we did, he's just fun. He was so much fun, and he brought this almost childlike energy with him. He was like irreverent and didn't take himself seriously, and made us all appreciate and remember that we get to do this for a living and it's fun. And he was so easygoing. Like, I feel like there are certain actors when you watch them, it's so effortless. Their work is so effortless. Tom is that way. Len is that way. And I think Treat has that gift also where he can just show up and the camera starts recording and he just is brilliant. Like he doesn't even have to try. It just oozes from him. He was so talented. And he's very missed. But what a gorgeous tribute that we gave to him. It was so lovely. I loved Tom's hand in it, because Tom and Treat were good friends. So it was just very personal and special.
You have some wonderful new additions coming up here. We'll be seeing Debbie Mazar here in the mid-season premiere,
Mhm.
and she's on a mission against Aaron. How far will Frank go to protect his daughter against, this woman who is looking to investigate Aaron for misconduct? We all know Aaron's the she's the I'm trying to
She's
think
the straight one. She's
highest.
straight
Yes.
laced. Yeah. I think it's that same hardship that he always comes up against anytime he has to be there, but also not be there because he has to stay outside of the situation. And so him weighing his words carefully and weighing how far in he needs to dip his toes in the water versus staying out altogether and just being involved as a dad and not as commissioner, and where that line, is, and if he crosses it and if he doesn't. That's what makes great television. So, we'll see it resolved around the family dinner table probably. But she was super fun. Good energy on set. I got to be in the makeup trailer with her, and she walked in. She knew exactly what she wanted. She advocated for herself, and I love that. Like, I want to get to that point in my career where I can walk in and be like, you know what? I don't want that foundation on me. This one works great for my skin, and I would like to use this one because right now I'm like, oh, that sure, yeah, of course, that's great. I mean, obviously on Blue Bloods, they've known me for 14 years, so we have
Yes.
found a foundation that works. But I'm a pink person, and when I feel emotion, I get redder. And so like I have to have a certain type of makeup that accommodates that so that I'm not bright red on camera. And it's hard to explain if you're like a guest star on a show. This is what I need, especially because you don't want to rock the boat and come in and have
Oh,
people think that you have an ego. But she like somehow just managed to do it. And it's just like, well, this is the way that it is. And Debbie's coming in and this is what she needs. And that's it. It wasn't like, oh, I will only take red M&Ms in my dressing.
that's right.
Like none of that crap. It was just like, this is what works for me. This is what we're doing. She did the same with her costume, and she looks fabulous. Like Kevin Mark Harris, our costume designer. Oh, they were like a match made in heaven. Just like the conversation that they had, she looks like $1 million. She still got it. Like she's got it. She was
Well,
fun.
Mira Sorvino comes in as well as another force to be reckoned with, and she seems to be very close to Frank's personality. They both have that stubborn, strong-willed streak to them.
Mhm.
Um, how does she shake things up for the Reagans?
Well, first of all, it was an honor getting to finally meet her. We have followed each other on social media for years, because I am good friends with her brother Michael, who I did an indie film with 8,000 years ago, called Almost Paris. And so Mira and I have been friendly, but we'd never actually met in person. And so getting to hug her, and see her step into this really strong character, who is similar to our fire commissioner. Um, Actually, did she remind me? I can't remember because there's been so many resignations lately in New York. Did she resign? No, Laura,
Oh,
something. I hope I'm not
I
saying.
don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, but Mira's character is very similar. Being that it's the first young female fire commissioner, and having to be in a man's club, or the boys club, in a man's world, and
Yes.
be taken seriously, be respected, commanding respect, always makes for good TV. And I think Frank is not the person who disrespects her, because I think Frank is surrounded by strong women, and he would never in a million years disrespect a woman who's in a position of authority. But she definitely has to deal with a lot of pushback and drama, her character. So again, makes for great television. Makes for great television. But she's awesome. Can't say enough good things about Mira. She's great.
This is a bittersweet season, as we said, and we'll be saying goodbye to the series, which I still think there's hope for, in my heart of hearts.
Mhm.
What mementos did you take with you at the end of filming? I know you probably took your nameplate off your desk and you said there's pictures of your kids, your real life kids on
Yep.
your desk, so certainly those came with you as well.
I actually have one of them on my desk now. This was there for
Yes, your
14,
wedding photo.
14 years. That's one of our actual wedding photos, but it was far enough out that you couldn't tell it wasn't my, on-screen husband. It's my actual husband. I got to take lots of, so I took the crab off my desk, which I did an Instagram post of. We had this random silver model of a crab, like life size. model of a crab that we all called Crabigail, because obviously. And so she lovingly lives in my house in Maine now because we felt that was a good spot for
Correct.
her to, yeah, she has a place of honor in Maine. She gets to see the ocean, it's a good place for her. Live out her retirement days in glory. But my favorite thing that I took was the office door. I
Wow.
have the huge glass office door because it has my DNA in the form of my fingerprints on that door handle, and we are hanging it up. It's going to have a special on it, and it's being hung up like professionally, like so that nothing can happen to it, like my kids won't laser tag or nerf on it to death.
One of the dogs won't drop.
Exactly. And it's like a little bit tucked away so that, nobody, but that's what I wanted. Like I told Kevin Wade, our executive producer, a couple of years ago that that was going to come live with me. And I joked to my husband that it was going to be the headboard of our bed. And he was like, absolutely not. Like you can bring it home, but it's not going in our bedroom. Uh, but I'm very excited to say that it is in my house. I have it, and plans are being made to get it hung up accordingly.
What was it like for you saying goodbye to Abby in this beautiful series? Certainly, um, lots of tears. Was there a way that you honored your time on the series personally? Or maybe that's something you wish to keep to yourself.
Well, I mean, I think I'm still in the process of unpacking all of it. It was a third of my life and half of my adult life. And I think like I'm not a goodbye person. I'm a see you later person. And I agree with you. I think that there's always hope. I think that once these episodes start airing, these final 8 start airing, CBS may go,
Mhm.
you know, even though like the set's gone, the props are gone, but like that, those things can be rebuilt. And if you have the entire cast and crew totally ready and willing to continue, I think it's possible that the conversation may happen. I'm not saying it's probable, but I think it's possible. But to say goodbye to her, my plans were to like go cry on a mountain in Maine this summer and like spend time just keening. But life has other plans, and life doesn't care, that like it just keeps going, as you know intimately. And so do I. We've both lost people. We had a I haven't publicly talked about this, but I'm sure you personally saw it, but we had a very tragic loss over the summer. My husband's best friend very suddenly passed away. And it was my 7-year old's best friend's dad.
Mm.
So, you know, I haven't really been able to figure out how I move forward and say like adios to Baker, just because life took over, real life took over. And my grief at losing her, it was obviously very eclipsed by the real law. But that's okay, because uh, I think that we need to feel. And I think that part of the beauty of Blue Bloods is that these conversations get had, the difficult conversations get had, and people come at solving them different ways. And that's what makes the show eternal and universal. Um, I can tell you that I am so excited personally to see. I'm going to see everybody next week. There's a lot of press going on in New York City, and for the end of the show. So the reunion's going to be really lovely, and getting to hug everybody that I haven't seen in a couple months is going to be really, really special. But I feel things very deeply. I'm an empath, and so the last dance, that was really hard. My tears were immediate and they were like a gushing river, and I was a red, sweaty mess.
Made me
'Cause
dance.
yeah, but that's okay. Like there were people that were totally stoic when they rapped, and that's also okay. Like I think that one one of the most important things we can do is just continue to see each other's humanity, and know that grief is a road we will all walk down multiple times, and it looks different for everybody, even if you're grieving a fictional character or you're grieving a real life close friend. Um, you know, I think we have to keep acknowledging the burdens that each of us carry, and being kind. Um, that is one thing that I take with me from this show, is that we had mostly the same crew, the same producers, the same cast for 14 years. And so we really were family. We knew like the back of our hand what was going on in people's lives. And I miss that. But it's also not goodbye, like it's a see you later. So I do feel very strongly that I will work with these people again in some capacity down the road. I believe that.
Well, this final season is so special to so many people, and we've seen Baker grow, we've seen her cry, we've seen her stronger because of the people she works with, and I think that's mirrored probably in your personal relationships with these people as well, and they're certainly lifelong friends of yours going forward, and you said you will working with them again. And coming up here, you'll get a chance to hug them and kiss them all over again in person and remind them how special they are to you. And that's, I think, a fitting way to at least start the process of saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's the process of saying see you later for the time being. Um,
Yes. See you later for now. Goodbye for now.
yes, there you go. Um, I've asked you this before, I believe. What has it meant to you to be a part of a series that's so beloved and so long running? We last talked some time ago, and here we are in
Yeah.
2014.
Um, I mean, as you just touched on, it shaped being a part of this definitively made me who I am currently. It would be impossible for it not to. I was 28 years old when I booked what was meant to be a walk-on role, a one episode role, a nameless role. And here I am 14 years later, a 42-year-old woman who is now married with two homes and two children and too many dogs and and a cat with IBS who seems to think her litter box is a suggestion. Um, um, it has meant I have learned so much about who I am as an actor. I have grown as an actor because I have gotten to observe and work through all of these big moments in my life while simultaneously having Baker experience big moments in her life, being pregnant and having children and deciding where she wants to be in her career. I mean, these are all things that we do as we move on, if we're fortunate to keep marching towards old age. Um, and I think the show has taught me that age is just a number. I think the quality of the work that we see from Tom and Len, especially, um, just shows that things get better with age, and the experience and the perspective that you're able to bring, the wisdom that just literally comes from stepping onto the set, the authority that you can carry and command. And like seeing someone like Donnie, who is such a workhorse, but he literally never has a frown on his face. That dude is always smiling and dancing and like of course, there's a lesson in that. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to say what it's meant to be because I'm like still looking at it, you know, it's like right
Sure.
here. And so, you know what I mean? Like I'm so myopic right now because it's like right in front of my face. And I think as time goes on and I get further and further and further from it, I hope that the most seminal thing I take from it is gratitude. I certainly feel that now. Obviously there's a lot of sadness and trepidation and what's next, you know, because now I'm unemployed. So yeah. But you know, we just yeah, we keep going because what else are you gonna do? Like I slept 4 hours last night, but I have all these interviews and you got to do them. You know what I mean? Like this is what we're lucky to get to do this, especially in like the heels of Hurricane Helene and Milton and everything going on in the Middle East, you know, and Ukraine. The world has gone mad. And so I'm here. I'm safe. I'm fed. I have people that love me. I love. That's it. That's it. So how can I feel anything other than extreme gratitude? You know?